The Caribbean region is known for its talent, its vibe, its natural energy that it brings. So please know that this opening sermon will be unorthodox, but nonetheless it's in Caribbean spirit.
We must invest in research and innovation that will create avenues for youth to be creators and not just consumers of innovation. The government of Jamaica, in consultation with various stakeholders in the youth community, has drafted a youth policy that speaks to creating platforms for which our young people are not just observers, but active participants in shaping their own destiny.
Youth integration is one of the most urgent challenges facing societies globally. As populations grow in numbers, societies become younger. You're here today, not just to listen, but to actively participate, and I much encourage that. When you head back to your communities, you'll be the workshop leaders and the knowledge holders. So I say, please share that knowledge with everybody.
You are indeed a very important segment of the Caribbean, comprising more than 25% of the population. And you are key to driving change toward a better future for all in every corner of the world, even as we face grave challenges to our own development efforts. Young people, and you know this better than I do, face a serious array of development challenges, and your needs and aspirations are regularly and all too often overlooked.
Crisis in our communities, in our countries, in our region, in the world is too deep and growing every day more desperate for us to spend too much time talking and not enough time acting.
The young man in your community that is still looking for a job, he's been looking for 2 or 3 years. The young lady who's just found out that she's pregnant and she doesn't know where she's going to find the wherewithal to survive with her little child. You know, think about those people, your peers, who want to get a tertiary education but they don't know where the money's going to come from. Make it real. When you sit here, think about somebody. Have somebody in your mind that you're speaking before you're speaking on their behalf. Because I think that will be where the passion comes.
We know that in some quarters, people hold the belief that young people should, as they say, stay in their lane. However, we believe that prominent concerns related to governance, peace and security also require the focused attention of young leaders in very practical terms.
The fact of the matter is our society will never be at peace if there are large cyclones that do not have the means to etch out the most basic of substance. And in all of our countries, we must be relentless in our pursuit to bring the majority of our citizens to that place where they can earn an equitable wage to sustain a decent livelihood and maintain their human dignity.
We need to align the international economic and financial architecture with the agenda, because as it stands, we seem to have 2 parallel paths, one that deals with finance and economics and regulatory things, and one that deals with developmental, human and social issues. And if the 2 are not intertwined, we'll never achieve them, because the agenda requires financing, the agenda requires money. The agenda cannot ignore vulnerabilities of small island developing states like those of us in the Caribbean. The agenda has to take note of it and build it in.
We can't talk about sustainability without talking about sustainable political development. Development isn't just human, it is also political. And for that, I go to Amartya Sen, who, as you should know, was one of the progenitors of the Human Development Report, and he simply defines development as when people live the life they have reason to value. And what is fundamental about it is, how do we assess value? We can't talk about the currency of value without talking about use.
Education and training remains an important part of the global agenda. It is most times the only tool that can move one from a life of poverty to one of prosperity. It is a value that our Jamaican society and the Caribbean at large places great emphasis on. We're very clear here in Jamaica that government should take the lead in ensuring that we have an education system that is of a very high quality and one in which every child, regardless of social, economic or cultural background, has equal access.